But Dr. King's dream, if Dr. King could see the condition of black America today, he would have a heart attack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look at us. According to national news last week, they said that they had a study, 2 college universities, to where they put out applications in the workplace. And they put white names, sounding names on the application, and they put black sounding names on the application. 50% of all of the black applications were thrown in the garbage can. And they never received a call back. What is it, white America? To where in the workplace you would just read an application with a black sounding name on it and you throw that away. What is it, white America, to where if you see 4 young black men riding in a car, you don't judge them for the context of their character or their license tags or if they're speeding or if a tail light is out. You just go ahead and pull them over. What is it, white America, to where you can elect a U.S. senator that will come before the whole world and say, if we had elected Strom Thurmond, a man who ran on a segregationist ticket, that if we would have elected him, we wouldn't have all of these problems today. What is it, white America, to where you will condemn September the 11th? You will condemn the hijackers and you will condemn the terrorists, and you should, for that was an attack against humanity. But why don't you tell the truth?
All right, all right.
See, the first time that airplanes were used in America, if you got your pens, you might want to write this down.
Yes, sir.
The first time that planes were used in America as terrorist weapons was in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when they got in airplanes, crop duster airplanes, and bombed 19 square blocks of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because the black community of Oklahoma wanted to purchase the whole state of Oklahoma by paying off 50% of the debt of the state of Oklahoma. They had amassed millions of dollars in 1921. And on a Sunday afternoon, white people got in airplanes. Members of the Ku Klux Klan organized regular citizens and got in airplanes and dropped gasoline and nitroglycerin bombs from the planes on the entire black business district in the black neighborhood. And they're still trying to count the dead right now. Over 750 was the last count.
Yes, sir.
That's when airplanes were used as missiles and terrorist weapons in this nation. See, white folk, you know, you really don't want to deal with the truth. That's why God is allowing your backside to be tore up, because you're too arrogant to humble yourself and pray and turn from your wicked ways and seek God's face. That's the problem in this nation.
All right.
You talk about weapons of mass destruction and chemical and biological warfare. Let me talk to my brothers in the uniforms of the military today. Do you brothers remember Tuskegee, Alabama?
Yes, sir. All right.
Do you remember that the United States government approved the United States Department of Chemical and Biological Warfare of the United States Army to infect 499 black men with the worst case of syphilis and gonorrhea known to man? And for 35 years, never told those men that they were infected with syphilis and gonorrhea, and they had generations of young children born without eyes, without tongues, heart defects, no livers, no kidneys, and they were allowed to go back and coexist sexually with their wives, and their wives died with no treatment. Don't tell me Saddam Hussein is the only one practicing chemical and biological warfare. You did it too. We got history you don't want to teach your babies.
All right.
And now, they all scared. They're releasing chemical and biological warfare. You know, black folk don't respond the same way when we hear chemical and biological warfare. You know why we don't respond the same way? Because we didn't bring crack cocaine into our community. We didn't bring and develop cocaine and heroin. We don't own boats, no planes. We don't even own a canoe. And yet our community is full of crack cocaine and all kind of illicit drugs. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you can put a man on the moon? You now are getting ready to try to go to Mars. You have built contraptions that are on Mars right now today doing scientific testing and biological testing on Mars, and you're sending people there and you're sending and bringing things back, but you can't stop cocaine from coming across the border. And so they asked the question, why do they hate us? Speaking of the terrorists. See, the problem is, let me see a show of hands in here right now who know what America's foreign policy is on the Middle East. Can I see a show of hands who know America's foreign policy on Iraq? How about Syria? How about Oman? How about Kuwait? How about our friendly friends in Saudi Arabia? Anybody? See, they hate America because of America's foreign policy. But the problem is, we are being attacked and we're being murdered in mass numbers because of the government's foreign policy in another nation, but yet we, the masses of the people, don't even understand what the government is doing in our name.
Yes, sir.
That's like a child writing hot checks and you giving them the checkbook and they got hot checks in your name all over Palestine and you don't even know it. That's what is happening. Look, the Middle East got problems.
Yes, sir.
I know they have problems, but we have problems too.
That's right.
But the problem is we become so arrogant.
Yes, sir.
We gonna bomb everybody. Well, let me ask you a question. You want the masses of the American citizens to believe that Iraq is more dangerous than North Korea? But see, you ain't flexing that muscle with North Korea.
That's right. That's right.
They got a 2 million man standing army, baby.
Yes, sir.
You barely got 350,000. And they looking to lose a few. Because they got laws on the books right now that they can't have more than 1 or 2 children. Because they're so overpopulated. So I don't see you talking about going to jump on China, and China got weapons of mass destruction, but they got 3 billion people, and they are willing to lose a billion. See, it's hypocrisy. You want us to join the Army, Air Force, Marines, and be all that we can be in the armed services, that you will never give us a chance to be in our own community. I just don't understand how is it you can find a job when there's time to go to war for black men. You can find a job when you put them in prison, but you can't find adequate employment for them when they're in society. I'm saying that if we're going to truly analyze Dr. King, his last desire was to hold a poor people's march on Washington, D.C., but he was assassinated before he had the chance to do so. He was holding a poor people's march with Enron folding, Arthur Anderson folding, with WorldCom and Nest scandals, with the corporate scandals that are taking place in America. These are nothing more than economic terrorists who rob